Prince Grayson took his place in the line of what was left of the princes, lined up to dance with the birthday girl. He was relieved that Roma was not around to pressure him with any more questions as to why Radion thought that Princess Ebony already had a dragon, and that her dragon's name was Nova. Prince Grayson didn't bombard Radion with a bunch of questions either. Radion had fallen silent. Prince Ty's dance with the princess had already finished by the time Prince Grayson got in the back of the line. He had been so busy talking with Romid and Eliaster that he hadn't gotten a chance to watch how they had interacted together. He did see Prince Idris walk up to them to take his place as the next dancer with Princess Ebony. She towered over Prince Idris on the dance floor. It looked like his nose was stuck in the middle of her bosom. Their dance was about midway through when Prince Grayson had gotten in the line, and he could tell she looked miserable dancing with the prince. Yet she smiled constantly over his head and seemed to be listening attentively while the prince talked on and on. The bright green fringe on the sleeves reminded Prince Grayson of the hair that moved on a caterpillar, and the image of a fat, juicy green caterpillar popped into his mind again. "Stop it!" Prince Grayson nearly laughed out loud. Radion laughed. No one could hear him. "I can't help it. But I am beginning to think that he is putting on an act and no one understands the play. We are so distracted by how goofy he looks, no one takes him seriously." Prince Grayson found that interesting. "You really think he is up to something?" "I can't be sure. I just feel like something is off with his dragon, but I am not sure what I am sensing. His dragon is definitely not hiding himself, but he is guarded." Grayson sighed. "Sounds like another puzzle," he said. "I really wish I could concentrate more on it, but I am going to have to pass for now. Princess Ebony is the pressing issue." "Yes," said Prince Grayson as he watched her dance with Prince Idris. In spite of the prince's awkwardness, she still managed to look graceful, even though it was apparent her toes were getting stepped on frequently. Prince Grayson sighed again. He was at the end of the line. He was concerned she would not be in a good mood while they danced if her feet were hurting by the time he had his turn. Radion broke into his thoughts. "Yeah, it's going to be at least 15 minutes before we are alone with her on the dance floor," whined Radion. Prince Grayson mentally raised his eyebrows at Radion. "I have never known you to be impatient, my ancient wise dragon," Grayson snarked. "That was until this morning, when you wanted to create a national incident chasing after that dragon you sensed this morning." "Really," said Radion. "Your mate is more than likely in this room, and all you can do is be sarcastic." My mate or your mate, Prince Grayson, was no longer trying to hide his sarcasm by being just snarky. "I am not your Hosento. You are my dragon. Even though Nova was your mate, and which, by the way, we are not even sure Nova is Princess Ebony's dragon, that raises another question. Since Princess Ebony is not Nova's Hosento, how can we be sure that Princess Ebony will accept me? And with how the dragon gods have allowed the shift of power of dragons to change in the realm of men, how can you be sure Nova will be your mate in this lifetime?" "Why would the dragon gods change my mate?" scoffed Radion. "There is no dragon born gifted to a human that would be equal to me as a mate. It would have to be an ancient dragon. I can sense the ancient power surrounding the princess, and those black eyes only belong to one dragon. But you are not even sure it's Nova. You can't even sense a dragon with Princess Ebony." Prince Grayson toned his attitude down a bit. He didn't want to upset Radion to the point that he would no longer speak to him. He could sense the dismay that Radion was trying to hide, with the thought that maybe Nova was no longer his mate. "Dragons mate only once, and it's forever," Radion muttered, not sounding as confident as he had earlier. "And yes, I know you're not my Hosento, but you know as well as I do that dragons recognize their true mates long before you humans recognize each other. For you, it doesn't even take a bond to fall in love, just mutual attraction. Sometimes it's mentally or sometimes it's physically. We dragons are only attracted to our mates. There is something attracting me to the princess. Whether that's because Nova is present with the princess, I am not sure, but I hope so," he added wistfully. While Radion and Prince Grayson were conversing in Grayson's mind, he was still watching Princess Ebony dance. Now she was dancing with Prince Adrian. That dance didn't look like it was going all that well either. It was obvious Prince Adrian hadn't slowed down on the mead. Romid startled Prince Grayson as he said, "Are you having another conversation with Radion?" That scowl on your face and how intense you look has garnered some attention. Prince Grayson had not noticed his uncle walking up. He dropped the scowl on his face and tried to give a slightly bored expression. Yeah, I was trying to talk sense into Radion. I personally think the odds of this Nova Dragon being with Princess Ebony quite impossible, he said quietly, so Prince Kern, who was standing in line in front of him, could not hear. Romid looked Prince Grayson directly in his eyes. Why would you think that you were the only being alive today worthy of an ancient dragon? You don't know the plans that the dragon gods have. They didn't have to change the way they did things before, and they could change it all again. I don't understand what Radion thinks he is sensing or how this Nova could be her dragon, but it could be Princess Ebony may be special in ways that we don't understand. Well, Radion says that those black eyes of the princess are the same color as Nova's former Hosento, and I'm guessing that's what her eyes looked like as a dragon. He claims that there are no other eyes like Nova's. The unbelief in Prince Grayson's voice rang deep. I can't believe that Nova is the only dragon with black eyes. I never said that no other dragon has ever had black eyes. Radion nearly yelled at Grayson. I said I could see Nova's eyes through Princess Ebony's eyes. Prince Grayson winced at the volume Radion's voice had taken inside his head. Prince Grayson noticed that Prince Duro was trying to help Princess Ebony avert disaster by quickly stepping up and whisking her away from the drunk prince, who was just standing bewilderedly on the dance floor as the music had ended. Princess Ebony's face lit up when Prince Duro had taken her hand for the dance. I thought Prince Duro kept acting like he had never spent time with her. She looked happy to see him, complained Prince Grayson to Radion. I think she would look happy to see anyone after dancing with Prince Adrian, he said. Romid had noticed Grayson wince when Radion had yelled at him the moment before. Is Radion going to be all right? Prince Kern is the only one left before your turn to dance with Princess Ebony. You both need to calm down because you're not going to get to know the princess if the two of you are going to be arguing in your head. Uncle Romid scolded his nephew gently, but firmly. Radion huffed. Let him know I'll be fine, he said. I will keep quiet and observe while you dance with the princess. I am sure you will have something to say, replied Prince Grayson dryly. Addressing his uncle, Prince Grayson said, We will be fine. Radion yelled at me when I said I couldn't believe Nova was the only dragon with black eyes. I stand corrected. She wasn't. Prince Grayson turned his attention back to the princess. He knew Prince Duro didn't care about dancing at balls, but he definitely seemed to be making the best of the situation as he led Princess Ebony dancing around the dance floor. His traditional attire made him stand out from the rest of the princes. They seemed to be getting along nicely. When the dance ended, Prince Kern took his place beside the princess. Prince Grayson was grateful both Radion and Romid were silent as Prince Kern and Princess Ebony danced. There were too many people in the close vicinity around them for Romid and him to talk about what was going on, because someone might overhear them. As for Radion, he was lost in his own thoughts that he was keeping to himself. King Beriod approached Prince Grayson. I have been wanting to speak with you alone. Prince Grayson bowed to King Beriod. Yes, your majesty? He asked stiffly. King Beriod chuckled. Relax. I just wanted to meet you and speak privately without you being surrounded by the other princes like earlier. I want to congratulate you on the treaty between Peroria and Ilarion. It's probably been centuries since there has been a representative of Peroria at Ilarion court. My friend King Liam has done well trying to arrange peace with Peroria. Thank you. Now that we are at peace with Ilarion, maybe we could work on better relations with Lyson too, said Prince Grayson diplomatically. Although we haven't been at odds with your country like we have with Ilarion in the past, you are his staunchest ally. Yes, I am, said King Beriod. And we are very good friends. Maybe we could arrange for an ambassador to visit your country and make some trade arrangements with me and King Ayan. I think my father would be pleased with that, replied Prince Grayson. Send someone to my quarters tomorrow morning and we will make the arrangements. King Beriod nodded his head. I am pleased that you agree that it would be a good idea, and I will send someone tomorrow. It sounds like the tune Princess Ebony and Prince Kern are dancing to is about over. I will let you have your turn before I dance with my future queen. King Beriod turned his back to the prince, dismissing him. His parting remark was not overlooked by Prince Grayson. He gritted his teeth. "He is a pompous fool," said Radion. "Ignore him." The song had ended. Prince Grayson quickly made his way to where they were standing and gently tapped Prince Kern on his shoulders. Prince Kern stepped back, allowing him to stand before the princess. Prince Grayson reached out his hand and said, "Princess Ebony, may I have this dance?" She nodded. Prince Grayson slipped Princess Ebony's hand into his and wondered if he could keep the secret he was beginning to believe she was hiding.